guys, so it's another time to get cooking. So on today's recipe video we're going to be making cheese and potato pie. I'm going to start with 1.3 kgs of mashed potatoes. So they've been boiled and mashed. I've used a ricer. There should be a video in the top corner that shows you me ricing the potatoes. This is enough to serve 4 people, so obviously reduce your quantities accordingly if you're making for less people. So I've got my potatoes here that have been boiled and riced. I'm now going to add 60 grams of melted butter. It's just normal melted butter. If you can do this while the potatoes are hot, you won't need to melt it beforehand, but I just like to do that because I don't want lumpy bits of butter in there. I'm also now going to add the fried onions. So what I've done is I have chopped and fried some onions in butter and then added green chilies. You can see the onions here, they're fully changed colour, and we're just adding that. I find that if you add the green chilies to the butter and onion mixture, it mixes a lot better into the potatoes, whereas if you just try to add the minced onions into the potatoes, you'll find that there are lumpy bits. So just a bit of a top tip for you there, that add your spices to the butter mixture with the onions. So give that a good mix and make sure everything is incorporated well. Once everything looks like it's fully mixed in, I'm then going to add salt. Now add salt as per your taste. Remember that the butter is also salty, so add it accordingly. I've added about a teaspoon there. I will taste it and then add more if I need to. So the salt is well mixed in, and I'm now going to add some pepper. Again, add this as per your taste. That'll do. Give that a mix. Always remember to keep incorporating things as you go along. If you put everything in at once and then try to mix it, you're just going to get a lumpy mixture. I'm now going to add the cheese. I've got here 60 grams of cheddar and 60 grams of Red Leicester. Again, if you want to make this recipe vegan, you can swap out the dairy products like the cheese and butter for vegan versions, and then the whole recipe will be vegan. Add as much or as little cheese as you want to. If you follow me on my Instagram page, you will know that on a lot of my posts, my favourite hashtag is #CheeseIsLife, because I do love cheese. So if you're looking for healthy recipes, this is probably not your best place today. Add as many cheeses as you like. You can add different ones depending on what kind of cheeses that you like. I'm now going to add a large red pepper that's been diced. This adds a nice bite because although it does cook in the oven, it still stays a little bit crunchy, so adds a nice texture. I'm just going to give this a good mix. Adds a nice bit of colour as well to the dish. Make sure that's all mixed in. And then lastly, in terms of the fresh ingredients, I'm going to add 4 or 5 chopped spring onions. Again, just chop them small. They give a nice sort of a bite as well. It's also a good way of incorporating vegetables in, so you know, if you've got kids who don't really like vegetables, this is a good dish to kind of feed children, to encourage them to eat something that's got vegetables in it. It's very colourful, very tasty. Leave out the chilies obviously if you are going to give it to children. So again, at this point, I'd just like to add one final thing, which is dried parsley. It's optional, you don't have to add it if you don't like it. You can add any kind of mixture of herbs that you want to, but I quite like the fresh taste that you get from parsley in this recipe. So I'm just going to add that in. And now give it a good mix. So now I'm just going to transfer this to an oven-proof dish. Please make sure that you have preheated your oven to gas mark 6 or 200 degrees Celsius before you start, so the oven is nice and hot. So I'm just using a normal Pyrex dish, but you can use whatever you want as long as it's safe to go in the oven. And I'm just going to place it all into this dish. Okay, so as you can see, I've put it all into the dish. Just flatten it down slightly because you are going to top this with some cheese, and just make sure it's all evenly placed in the dish. Now I've got here again a mix of cheeses. I've got about 100 grams, but again just use what you feel comfortable with, and just scatter this over the top. Make sure you take it to the edges, otherwise the potatoes will get burnt. Okay, so just putting the last of the cheese on. As I said, make sure you go to the edges and that it's all properly coated. You can put herbs on here if you want to. Sometimes if I feel like it, I put some chili flakes on, but at the moment I'm just making this as is. That's all in now, so it just needs to go into the oven. So as you can see, it's ready. All the cheese is coating all the edges, and I'm just going to put this into the oven. So just place it into the top shelf of your preheated oven and let it bake. So it's been half an hour, so it's time to take this out of the oven. I cook it for 30 minutes or until it is suitably golden brown. Very careful because obviously it's very hot. So yeah, you need to leave this in the oven for 30 minutes. When it gets to 15 minutes, just rotate the bowl just so that everything melts evenly. When it comes out, I like to leave it for about 10 minutes just to let it cool a little bit before you try and spoon it out, just so that you can cut it into sort of sections properly. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Maybe give this a shot and let me know how it tastes and what you think of it. Leave me some comments, and as always, if you've enjoyed the video today, then please continue watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and always click the bell icon to alert you when I post new videos. And as always, have a delicious time.